As we begin the afternoon, Minister Leal, Minister of Rural Affairs for Ontario, has sent a video message, so we're pleased to present that.
Hello, I'm Jeff Leal, Minister of Rural Affairs for the Province of Ontario and MPP for Peterborough. It is a privilege to speak to you today at the 6th Annual Rural Economic Revitalization Conference. I'd like to thank the Monieson Centre at Queen's University School of Business for organizing today's event. The theme of this year's conference, Technology, People and Prosperity, is perfectly suited to the opportunities and challenges facing rural communities in Ontario today. As Minister of Rural Affairs, my most important priorities are ensuring Ontario's rural communities continue to attract good jobs and have strong social services like healthcare and education. One question I often hear is, what is rural Ontario? When it comes to funding programs and services, one approach has been to define rural as a population of 100,000 and less. But quite frankly, it's just not that simple. Rural Ontario is varied and diverse, as such no single definition exists. Many of the folks living in the countryside in villages and hamlets rely on the services that communities like Kingston, Cobourg, and my hometown of Peterborough provide. This includes basic services like grocery stores and pharmacies, but also essential social services such as hospitals, doctors' offices, and employment assistance. I believe the biggest reason rural remains so hard to define is because one of the most significant qualities, a sense of community, is difficult to measure. This sense of community embodies the resources, beliefs, and common values we share, as well as the close-knit collaborative partnerships common in rural communities. Residents of Ontario, regardless of where they live, deserve equal access to government programs and services. However, small and rural communities have faced challenges related to delivery of health care, skills training, and infrastructure investment, and local economic development. At the same time, there have been many examples of success in rural Ontario that we can learn from and build upon through good public policy. One example is healthcare. Healthcare consumes over $48 billion, or about 42% of Ontario's total program expenditures. Rather than addressing our fiscal challenges the traditional way, by looking line by line, what we spend on hospitals, on medication and long-term care, for example, we need to shift our focus to better serve patient needs. That's why our government is moving forward with community health links. This model of care breaks down silos, ensuring providers work collaboratively with patients. It's an innovative program fundamentally built on partnerships. The Community Health Link model is an important initiative for multiple reasons. First of all, it's an example of government learning from what already is taking place in rural communities. Health links are based on a partnership between the Change Foundation and Northumberland Hills Hospital in Cobourg. Secondly, community health links would not be possible if our smaller communities didn't already have close-knit partnerships. When you care for a patient, and the patient has multiple providers, it helps when the same person has kids that share the same school as yours. My point is, we know each other in rural communities, and we work well together. Providing excellent care with modern health infrastructure has benefits well beyond patient outcomes. It contributes to the overall health of the community and influence its ability to attract investment and grow its economy. One of the greatest challenges we face in rural Ontario is staying competitive in a highly globalized economy. Rural Ontario alone contributes $106 billion in GDP to the provincial economy and is vital to our future. There have no doubt been challenges faced by many rural communities. But through harnessing the power of technology and innovation, I know that Ontario rural communities have what it takes to thrive and succeed. It was only 10 years ago that we were working to get telecommunications up and running in rural Ontario. If we want entrepreneurs and companies to be successful in rural Ontario, we need to give them the appropriate tools. That's why broadband is essential. Since 2007, our government, your government, has invested $120 million in rural broadband infrastructure. This means that 95% of residents in Eastern Ontario, more than 500,000 residents and businesses in Southern Ontario, and 26 First Nations communities in Northern Ontario have access to high-speed broadband service. We also know that the provincial government must continue to invest in new jobs. That's why we created the Eastern Ontario Development Fund, the Southwestern Ontario Development Fund, and the Rural Economic Development Fund. These programs allowed us to invest in companies like Answer Precision Tool in Kitchener, Protoplast in Cobourg, Goodall Rubber in Collingwood, and flying colors in my hometown of Peterborough.